Hello, and welcome to episode 9 of the Explorer Times series. Guys, as you might notice, behind me, there are witches in the spawner. If we look up, you can see that I've got a second Soul Shards cage up there, dropping those witches down for me. And I made myself a couple of switches here. So I already had one for the blazes, so I just flick that on and off, and then blazes can spawn, they can come down too. But this one's for the witches. And the reason I bring that up is because if you'll remember from way back when, the recipes for the vats over here that's currently supplying power to the base, there is a better version. Like right now, we're just using the hooch. But the hooch is not the best fuel that you can get. There are two more. There's rocket fuel, and then there's also fire water. Now, the fire water does produce more power over time, but it's at a lower rate. I think it's 60 RF per tick, or maybe 80 RF per tick, and it produces a total of 1,500 per bucket. Whereas the rocket fuel produces 1,200 per bucket, but it does it at 180 RF a tick, which is definitely what we're going for. And the reason that I bring those two up together is, of course, because the recipe for the rocket fuel is redstone and gunpowder. So, the witch spawner, I left it running for a little bit, alongside the creeper spawner that I have elsewhere in the world. So, let's hop over here and see what we've got. So, first off, gunpowder. Yeah, 841,000. That's quite a lot. That'll keep us going in power for quite some time, I feel. And then I think redstone's this one here. Yeah, only about 40,000 right there. I haven't had the witch spawner up and running very long. Definitely something that I'm still working on because I'm so ready to have more power flowing into this. And let me show you why that is. So if you'll remember, I said that I wanted to have creative mode. I was tired of not being able to fly around, so I got that creative mode flight because I'm wanting to improve the storage room. Now, I'm not even sure if I showed you guys this last time, but this is how massive it's gotten. I've got these many deep storage units all holding all of the raw materials that are coming in from the quarries, as well as a little extra chest right there for me to dump stuff in so that way it goes to the whole system. And then I have an inner chest up there that's pumping all the stuff back into the actual Applied Energistics network. But then if we look over here, we can see that I've got some ME controllers. I'm so ready to get into a really big AE network. I've already got the Tesseract with power pumping in there. I've got the power acceptor, and then I've got a single plug running into the north face of this, like the top face of it. That's the interface that goes out into the real world. I'll show you why that in a second. But yeah, so this is the biggest size ME controller that you can get for a single network. I just said, I mean, why not go all the way? So I put it all together. And you can see I've got the very basics of automated crafting sitting here in my inventory because that's really something I want to get into. So I think that's our plan for today. We're going to try to get some automated crafting up and going, and hopefully we can move into the higher tier energy networks, because right now this thing is drawing too much energy. I had it powered for just a little bit and then had to ultimately disconnect the wire from it because it's just it requires too much power to have something this big going. Which is not to say that we necessarily need something this big, but I want something this big, so that's what I'm going to be working towards. So pretty immediately I realized that the spawner setup that I have there at the actual base that's using grinders to kill the mobs is just way too slow. I don't have the energy network set up to keep those running all the time, which is unfortunate, but it is the case. So I threw them over here where the spikes are killing them, and I'm getting all the mobs drops just thrown back through yield in their chest here. It's grabbing all the stuff that they drop and just sending it back over. So yeah, we're getting plenty of supplies. I think when I checked a little bit ago, I was up to 150 something thousand redstone. Gunpowder's off the charts, of course, because I had the creeper spawner going for so long. I've just got it turned off right now because I didn't need any more gunpowder. It's crazy. But yeah, I do still have a switch for it here. This is the one that turns on creepers, so I could flick it back on if I really feel the need. But anyways, so moved them over here in order to get ready for upping that power network, because I'm really interested in getting that rocket fuel going. so that way I have more energy running through the network. Alright, I'm quite sure that I showed you guys the start of this, but I'm not sure if I showed you the end of it. So if we go ahead and snap down here, you can see I've got a couple more tunnels, but if we keep going down, this is the cleared out area that I got from quarrying it all out. So pretty big area, lots of room to play with. Not sure what I'm going to put here, honestly, other than this, of course. If I come over here, you can see I've set up compressed cobblestone setup here. Just auto crafting each level of it. So it starts over here with a couple of the item transfer nodes that are making the cobblestone thanks to the world interaction upgrades. Got a few speed upgrades in it just to make it move a little bit faster. It doesn't have too terribly far to run. I'm probably overclocking it with 32 even, but anyway, so I've got 4 of those, 2 on either side. Pumping cobblestone into all these chests, which are then using the world interaction upgrade to make the compressed cobblestone, which goes into those and then is used to make the double and the triple and the quadruple and so on and so forth until we get here to the end where we've got the octuple compressed cobblestone. Now I've only got 2 so far showing here. I did have 1 more, but I went ahead and used it to create one of the bedrockium drums for all of the monster essence that I was getting off of the witches that were initially being spawned, because all of the drums that I put there, which was quite a few of them, filled up rather quickly. If I zip out here to the spawner area, I can show you what I'm talking about. Oh god, it's just a little bit laggy today. Looking forward to this. I just today ordered a new computer, so I'm pretty excited. It's a really good one, so I think I'll be able to like really tilt up all of the settings in the various games, and I'll be able to get back to like the Morrowind series and maybe do some other stuff too. Heck, maybe I can show myself going through one of the roguelike dungeons in this, because I'll actually be able to handle the frames. But so anyways, I got, of course, the 2 Sterlings that I showed you earlier. All these drums are completely full of essence, every single one of them. And I've got the bedrockium here that I threw in to kind of capture all the stuff that was being generated. And you can see it's not quite half full, but I mean it's getting there. But yeah, all these normal drums, all 256. I guess that one's 252, but still, like super full of essence. So yeah, I just put in a bedrockium one here so that way it could collect all that stuff for me. So we got quite a lot of resources actually. I'll just give you sort of a light update there. Let me just run over to the storage area. Oops, sorry about that. Had to interrupt for something real quick. Yeah, let's hop over here to the storage area. Let me terminate that just to make sure I'm going to the right place. So by the way, I don't think I told you this, but I did, I found the option in the config for turning it off. It's a setting that you can turn off so that when people enter this via like a gateway or something like that, instead of using the little handheld device, it normally gives you like a Wither 3 effect and nausea, and that's totally something that you can just turn off, so I did, because this is absolutely supposed to be for people to come into and be able to access. But yeah, if we look here, see we've got 69 million smooth stone. I don't know why I'm so oddly proud of that number, but I really am. And then we've got just everything else too, so like sand, quicksand, tons and tons of that, clay, marble, limestone. I started putting the bricks in because apparently my quarry was mining out like dungeons and stuff like that too. Very unfortunate, but yeah, I mean like I had to put in a whole bunch of extra stuff just to make sure that it was capturing everything, because these the stone bricks in particular were really clogging up the system. But yeah, so the essence, all of the gems and stuff like that from Biomes of Plenty, and then down here we've got like obsidian and Certus quartz, charged Certus quartz, coal, redstone, lapis. Still got quite a bit of redstone there. Very nice, very nice. Emeralds, diamonds. See, I got just under 40,000 there before being smashed with fortune or anything like that. And where's the big papa? Where's iron? Iron's totally the one that I'm going to have the most of. There it is. 702,000 iron. I really need to get into processing this stuff, but I think that all that's still going to have to wait until I get that better power network set up. That really is the goal here, is to get that better power network set up so I can start doing way more things with it. But yeah, Yeah, you can see there we've got plenty of supplies for all of our endeavors, so I really just need to kick this into high gear and start throwing things together. Oh, my god. Okay, so I stepped out, and I'm under a blood moon. Night must have just risen with it. I didn't receive the message or anything because I was in the other world, the spirit dimension. Oh, I've been waiting on this. I've been waiting on this, guys. So, no, it's on the other side. Okay. So, random things. That's the mod that adds in the blood moon, if I'm not mistaken. We'll find out here in a second. Yeah, random things. So I've got this white stone that's charged. You find it in dungeon chests and things like that as an uncharged thing, and then just having it on your person when you're in the when the moon is up charges them up so that they get into this state. But then, if you take them outside during a blood moon and throw them down, they change into something else. So let's... Oh, goodness gracious. There we go. Very annoying, that. Anyways, let's go up to the roof here. Oh, if I can handle it. Oh, it's going nuts here. Okay, so, should be that if I throw this out, yeah, they'll start transferring themselves into bloodstones. Look at those nifty particle effects. I gotta say, for a mod that like has very minor things to it, it sure does add a lot of cool effects. Okay, so now I have bloodstones. So what bloodstones do is you kill monsters while you have them in your inventory, and then based on how many charges the bloodstones have, depends on the regeneration effect that you get, because that's what they give you, just a heart regeneration. I think that 400 is the maximum charge, and at that you're regenerating like a half a heart every other second, or maybe every second. I can't remember. It sounds super cool and like maybe a little OP, but nah, whatever. So I'm going to check it out, start killing things and see, because I'm also kind of curious if I can charge them up like more than one at a time. Like if I start killing monsters, if I'm going to get a charge on each one of these, so that I can pass them around to the other players on the server. But I'm going to check that out and then see what I find. So I found a couple skellies and I swung on them just to see what would happen, and I hate to say it, but yeah, it only charges them one at a time. So I've already done the simple part, and I'll just have to give them around and let people charge them up themselves so they can get their own regeneration. So I was exploring the grounds a little bit when I was looking for the monsters, and I happened across this Botania setup that someone set up. It's pretty basic, of course. None of us has really gotten too deep into any of the mods, honestly. I've just been kind of cherry-picking a really good start, and then I'm looking to get into some other stuff, but I haven't quite yet. And I saw that they had these day blooms planted over here, and these nightshades planted over here, and thus two monospreaders and then the monopool here. So, of course, I moved them over and then put up a little sign to explain to them that day blooms and nightshades are meant to offset each other. Because day blooms they generate less mana if they are put right next to each other, so you have to space them out in diagonals like that. And nightshades are sort of meant to go in between the day blooms to generate their own mana, because they have the same thing where like they have to be diagonal from each other. So yeah, I don't know which player on the server did that, but just a handy little tip. That's how they're meant to operate. You don't need the second monospreader. So, it looks like somebody else on the server was trying to tell me what to do too, as they gave me a sludge boiler, saying that Harvester could use this, that I should catch the item drops and place it away from people. Now I have dealt with sludge boilers before, so I do know how they work. Essentially, I just need to catch the sludge that comes out of these things and then put it somewhere else entirely. So if we look here, if it'll let me. I was picking up the sludge. Okay, so got a couple of sludge buckets here. But anyways, here's how I'm going to deal with it. I made some ender tanks. So, set that there. And then should automatically draw it up. Yes. Is that not? Okay, it is. It is. Alright, alright. So I need to do the same thing over here. do that to draw it up. Very good. And there are a few other machines. There's a couple more outside. A couple more harvesters anyways, totally. We've got the one here. There we go. And then the one here. Same thing. And then I will have to see if I can place a torch. Can I place one on top of this? No. Can I place one on the side of it? No. Alright, well then. It's gotta be the wand. So that can be placed. Oh, that's above it though. I'll have to place it here. There we go. Lights can be placed anywhere because they're so cool. So yeah, then I just gotta find a place to put this sludge boiler and start pumping the sludge into it. And so we see here my very basic solution to that problem. Sludge boiler back there, power going across the top and into it, ender tank, ender chest. So if I go ahead and throw this last bucket of sludge in there, you can see all the little swirly effects start to take up the area. It's a 3-block radius around it that it affects. But yeah, then it turns it into a basic item of some kind. So we can get a little bit more supplies that way. So you guys ready to auto-craft something? I'm ready to auto-craft something. Let's take a look up here. So this is the basic setup I've got going. Got the crafting storage of a 4K. Got the molecular assembler. I have 2 interfaces on either side of it that have patterns. This one full of all of the stuff to make a vat. This one with random bits and bobs for like compact machines, a blank pattern, deep storage, etc., etc. So we need vats to make the killer energy system that we're working on. So why don't we tell it to craft one for us? Yeah, we easily have the stuff for that. And go. Boom, vat done. But see, we don't need just one of them for the crazy setup I've got in mind. We're going to need a lot of them. Ooh, look at that. That is a lot of materials it's going to use. So let's give it a kick here. See how fast it goes. Probably pretty slowly, sadly. But yeah, check it out. I think it looks pretty darn cool as it's crafting all of the different items for it. I need to put some upgrade cards in here because I think that's really going to hold up this process quite a bit here. I'm not going to make you watch this whole thing. It'll go rather slowly, I'm sad to say. But yeah, check it. So that's one of the goals that we set for ourselves today. Done. We got the auto crafting set up. Even though it's really basic right now, it is set up and working. So, yay. Let's take a look at our supplies. We're waiting on that. Gunpowder, over 1 million. Fantastic. Redstone, 300,000. Not bad. That's not a bad start at all. So how are these going to get transported? Well, I think I'm going to use some transfer nodes with some of the ender receiver transmitter upgrades. Or maybe I'll just use ender chests again. I don't know. It's really hard. It is really hard to not just use ender chests because they are pretty instantaneous. And I don't have to bother with any kind of upgrades or anything like that. I just throw a stack upgrade in these that come off of these, and I'd be fantastic there for getting that done. And then just transport it with ender chests over to the energy supply thing that I'm working on, and then boom, we've got ourselves ready-made energy to go into our vats. So let's see, how many has it got done? Probably not an impressive amount at all. Yeah, still sitting at 1. So it hasn't gotten through crafting the stuff necessary to begin crafting it. Let's take a look here what's getting done. So stored, crafting those. Then it'll, nope, got those stored. So yeah, it's just got these to finish. Boom, done. So now it's going to start crafting the vats. So let's look in our system and watch that get done. Look at it climb. Look at it climb. So guys, I am going to have to go ahead and cut the episode there though. That's too much stuff done in this episode. Kind of random stuff, but stuff that needed to be done nonetheless. I thank you all for watching. I hope you all enjoyed it, and if you did, please do leave a like on the episode. You will see more of this as we go forward, because there's definitely some other stuff that we want to get done here. Definitely some other stuff. We're going to be working on this power system probably for the next episode, maybe an episode past that. I've got kind of a crazy idea for what I want to get done, because, like I said, go big or go home, right? Anyways, please feel free to subscribe to the series to see more, all those upcoming episodes that I'm talking about, and we'll see you next time, guys. Have a great day.